services, both those of you in the sanctuary and those of you in our sanctuary on Zoom. It's good to be together, and we are going to begin the service in song in that sentiment with Hine Matov, but we're going to use a different melody this evening, and it is one that we have done, but it's been a little while since we've done it. So it's written by Ilana Arian, and get this out of the way. And we're going to repeat it. So once we go through it one time, we'll go through it a second time. So you'll have the opportunity to get the hang of it. And in the English, you're going to repeat after me for the first two lines. So it sounds like this. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. So that's the main part of the song. Try it with me. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. You repeat after me. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Try that. We're going to sing that together. To be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is. Together, to be together on this day. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. And we're going to repeat this after I do it once. We'll do it another time. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom, Salam Aleikum. We'll try that again. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum, Shalom Aleichem, Salam, Salam Aleikum. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanahayim shevet kulam gam yachad. We will revisit this song as our closing song, so we'll get an opportunity to sing it one more time this evening. We come together as a community, as a family, to understand the values that move the world in which we live. Together,
we come together as a community, as a family, to understand the acts that threaten our world.
We come determined to find the values that will right the world. We come determined to restore justice to an unjust world.
May we stand firm as we pray for peace, for our families, and for our country.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuvchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want to invite Jody to come forward to do the reading and then lighting and blessing of the Shabbat candles. And you can take your mask off up here. So you're going to read this version.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Oh, hear my prayer I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav, v'tzavanu v'hadnetnu shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Good job. Thank you. We continue with Kiddush, sanctifying Shabbat and the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziyat Mitzrayim. Kivanu bacharta, biotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, V'Shabbat Kodecha B'Ahava Uvratzon Hinachaltanu Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. May we be blessed with God's most precious gift, Shlemut, inner peace, in our homes, in our hearts, and in our world. Together.
May the light of our souls illuminate the path towards peace, harmony, and healing for all. And may we find new ways to build a more inclusive, caring community.
May we have the opportunity to be a blessing to others and to appreciate the many ways in which we have been blessed. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach irute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayetecho beit Yisrael. Bahagala, Bahagala, Ubismahan Kahariv, Bimaru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Leolam Lealmei Amaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitpa'ar, Vitramam, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Tamihiran B'alma V'yimeru Amen. Please rise if you are able for the call to worship for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Praise be the one to whom praise is due forever. Together, praise be the one to whom praise is due now and forever. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. In love, you offered your people Israel your Torah and mitzvot. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with the chanting of the V'ahavta in the Hebrew. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha. Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, vishivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha, Uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kiddushim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. Together.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli, Zeli, anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all our people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. We sing Vishamru together in celebration of Shabbat. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lazot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berito olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lazot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berito olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat L'dorotam berito olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berito olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berito olam. Our service continues with the tefillah. Those who are able, please rise. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava. Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Morid HaGashem. Michalkel Chaim Bechesed, Michaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech mimihi tu mechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. We continue together.
May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat.
We take a moment away from our slides to have the opportunity to share with one another things for which we feel blessed, gratitude on this Shabbat. And it's always an interesting piece that we are supposed to say 100 blessings a day. And so the idea of finding blessings, large or small, in the midst of everything is an ongoing piece, and we lift it up by taking this time during our services. Rachel.
On Sunday, I got lucky enough to see a friend. She used to my boss when first saw the paper, and a couple of years ago, she moved to Washington State, but she was in Syracuse in Ithaca for some meeting. She was sitting at my house. We got to spend about an hour and a half.
So Rachel said last Sunday, she got to spend some time with a friend who used to be her boss at the paper and had moved to Washington State, but was back in the area in Syracuse from some meetings and came down, so they got to spend some time together, and she is appreciative of that. Yeah, Maureen?
I am so grateful for the beauty of autumn in this area. Every time I look up in the hills, I'm just in awe of the color that I see. It's just a real blessing.
Suzanne?
I'm just very thankful that I was able to spend 5 days earlier this week. That's why I wasn't around last weekend with my children, my grandchildren in Canada, and had a wonderful visit and got lots of hugs and lots of love. And it was a very special several days with them. So very thankful for that. It was wonderful.
Holly? Holly is saying how gratefully appreciative she is of all of the support that she's been receiving from the entire Jewish community during this time for her and her time of mourning. Sylvia?
I'm grateful that I'm feeling better, and all my siblings and children called to see how I was doing. So one thing came out of it that we spoke to everybody. I spoke to everybody.
I'm glad you're doing better as well. Jerry?
Yeah, I'm grateful for having spent a few days with my mother in the States. COVID then, but
Jerry's thankful that he got to go downstate to spend some time with his mother, who he hadn't seen since his son's wedding. And I'm not sure who got COVID after the wedding.
oh no, she got COVID before the wedding.
She got COVID before the wedding.
She didn't get to come to it, yeah.
So she didn't get to come to her grandson's wedding because she had COVID. So Jerry got to spend time with her recently downstate. Did I miss anybody? Okay.
Hi, this is Eve. I wanted to, last weekend I got to have a wonderful 50th high school reunion where I got to see a bunch of old friends, which was really lovely. Even though my husband got COVID afterwards, it was a really great event and was happy to do it.
So we now understand why we're in a high area and not low anymore, because we all are hearing of more people more recently getting COVID and coming in one side and coming out the other side okay. So we hope that that will continue for everyone. I want to share the blessing, and we can offer this blessing together, because while we're thankful generally, we also thank God for the things in the world and appreciative for God. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulechana elehodot. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. We continue with the prayer for our country, which we will read responsively.
I got it.
Every inch of America is sacred from sea to shining sea. There is much to be done in our time, the sort of hard work on which God smiles, because it is done for the sake of the dignity and the well-being of God's creatures. We read
Together, let us work to preserve and make manifest the values upon which our democracy was founded.
The task of all people of faith is to call governing authorities to fulfill God's purpose of bringing about justice, mercy, and peace.
Individually and as a nation, may we heed our obligations to each other as we navigate the tensions of building a just society.
Rather than a politics of divisiveness, may we move our country toward a politics of empathy.
May we use our power well so that we do great things for all God's creatures, all those made in God's image who yearn for an equal place at America's table.
If we do all this, may grace and peace be ours in abundance. May we be a beacon and a blessing to the world. And we say together, Amen. We offer a prayer of peace for all. We ask God to spread wings of peace over the people of Ukraine and the many other places in the world where there are civil wars and other acts of unrest between different groups. And pray for God who makes peace on high to bring peace to us and to the whole world. And we sing together Shalom Rav, one of our prayers for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We pray silently. Just a moment. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru, amen. At this time in our service, we offer a prayer for those who are ill and in need of our special prayers for healing, for support. And there are those names we say aloud and those names that we say in our own hearts. I will read the names that I've been asked to read, and then we'll pause. And if there are other names you want to add, those of you in the room can raise your hand, or when I look at you, then share the names, and those on Zoom can either unmute, or people tend to put them in the chat, and I'll add those names as well. We're going to be singing a different healing prayer tonight. It's written by Todd Herzog, and the words are Elna Refana Lanu. The original prayer for healing is Moses's prayer praying for Miriam to be healed when she was stricken with a skin ailment. So it is in the feminine, Elna Refana La, please God heal her. And then we add Elna Refana Lanu, God please heal us as well. So that is the healing prayer that we're going to be moving into in the music after I read the prayer that I will be reading and the names we have on our prayer list. Oh God, in our hearts, we name those who are facing illness and pain, and we join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. And tonight, we include the following people in our prayers by name: Jennifer Alexander, David Alterbaum, Anita Dreyer, Lisa Epison, Jeff Korn, Tegan Christofferson, Josh Swanger, George Turner, Stacy Berger, Alan Burke, Rona Bluestein, Charles Bonnet, Lori Bricks, Frank Burla, Thomas Brophy, and Angel Boussard, Jason Boussard, Nancy Campbell, Jack Kazis, Bob Dickman, Monica Fernandez, Stephen Friedman, Carol Gage, Sharon Grant, Cookie Greenblatt, Howard Grobstein, Andrea Hankey, Lou Hecht, Marty Honeychuck, Sarit Katsu, Reverend Rebecca Kindig, Sharon Kirschheimer, Alan Kripachinski, Leah Bat-Rachel, Brooke Little, Joyce Perry, Deborah Pomeroy, Cooper Saul Roberts, David Rosenberg, Denny Schechter, Connor Stanton, Jennifer Steele, Romeo Stenta, Marilyn Turner, Don Vanderbrook, Kevin Wade, Kevin Warner, Rhonda Waxman, Marilyn Weiner, Elena Witter, Kevin Williamson, Noah Wolkowitz, Brian Zabel, Debbie Zabataki, Jay Garzoop. Cheryl Lebe, Beth McMillan, and Susan Barrick. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and the hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked with theirs. Baruch atah Adonai Rafeh HaCholim, we praise you, God, the source of healing and health. So we're going to sing the first part twice. So we've sung it before, but it's been a little while. So if you don't remember it after the first time, we'll repeat it a second time. El na refana refana lanu. El na refana lanu. The English, you're going to repeat after me. Dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days. El na refana lanu. El na refana lanu. Restore our strength of body. Help clarify our minds. Help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirits. Refresh our tired spirits. Rejuvenate our light. Rejuvenate our light. El na refana lanu. El na refana lanu. Thank you for all these blessings throughout our days and nights. Throughout our days and nights, we celebrate the journey. We celebrate the journey, this precious gift of life. This precious gift of life. El na refana lanu. El na refana lanu. I'm going to begin my Devar Torah with the slides down, and then I will partway through be using the slides with my words that I'm going to share with you this evening. The Torah portion for this Shabbat is Parshat Noach. And I think it's helpful to view Parshat Noach as trying to understand the world as they were experiencing it. God destroyed the world because of the terrible things people were doing to one another and to their world. At this time, we are remembering the 10th anniversary of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. And yesterday was the 4th anniversary of the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, where a shooter killed 11 of the 22 people who were in 3 congregations getting ready for Shabbat prayer that morning. Today's Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's husband, was assaulted in their home in San Francisco and is in the hospital recovering from his injuries. We live in a violent and a polarized world. I believe the Tower of Babel, also in this week's portion, is a story that was set to try to explain and understand the splintered world, the arguing, the misunderstandings, and the inability for people to come together. We struggle to understand how we got to this place and to accept this as the way that our world needs to be. All of this is too relevant for us today. We still sometimes are in shock and puzzled by our divided world, how hard it is to talk with others who see the world so differently. The presumption that anyone different from us is a threat or a danger. There are different ways to view our world than from being one of scarcity with not enough to go around. We could do things differently, share our resources, and many conflicts could be resolved. But in the meantime, and as if I wrote this earlier today, but then I had the news on before I came. So in the meantime, we are being subjected to having to suffer through negative attack ads in the media about people running for political offices. It turns my stomach. The most vile ones are from third-party groups, not from the candidates themselves, and they are problematic in many ways. We can stay above the nasty fray and stay committed to voting after doing our homework on candidates and propositions, and then vote so our voices will be heard. Early voting in New York State starts tomorrow and goes through next weekend. I'm not sure if you are aware, we hear so much about the candidates, but I don't know if you're aware about Proposition 1, which is the Clean Air, Clean Water, and Green Jobs Bond Act that is on the ballot as well. RAC New York, which is the New York State Religious Action Center of our movement, is engaged in a multi-year initiative related to climate change. Several of us from Temple Concord have been working on this initiative with RAC New York. This proposition is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, to modernize our infrastructure, and to protect clean air and water. I encourage you to get more information about this proposition, and I hope you will seriously consider supporting our state authorizing $4.2 billion in state bonds to be able to fund clean school buses and to expand the use of renewable energy in public buildings, to replace lead pipes, modernize sewage systems, and update water treatment facilities, to make coastal areas more resilient to floods and extreme weather events, and to invest in open space and natural resource conservation. Again, it is our obligation to make informed decisions about our vote in the upcoming election. Last week in Torah study, when we studied the beginning of Genesis, Bereshit, we learned that the rabbis understood that everything created in the first 6 days of creation was not complete, and it needed to be completed. Our job is to complete the work of creation, to repair what needs to be repaired, to clean up our messes, and to care for our world and all that is in it. What did Noah do after seeing his world destroyed, after floating around in the ark for 40 days and nights with all those animals, and then disembarking? He planted a vineyard. He didn't expect to rebuild the world which had existed before. He planted to grow plants in the world in which he would now be living. Noah's planting was an act of resilience. We are tired, ready for Shabbat tonight and tomorrow. We moved from Tishrei, the month of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and Simchat Torah into Cheshvan just a few days ago. Cheshvan is a quieter month, with the only holiday being Shabbat each week. We need to catch our breath, to take a moment to savor the fall colors, to renew our strength and our stamina. With autumn and the upcoming winter, we can consider how we will be resilient and our next steps of faith and hope. I'm an optimist. I will continue standing for the things I value and my hopes for a better future. I don't expect it to just appear. I'm willing to take steps with others to help seed a more positive future, and I hope you will join me. I want to close my comments this evening with a poem written by Rabbi Vicki Hollander. She wrote it several years ago. She had a series of poems for each of the months, and this is the one for Cheshvan. When I printed her poem several years ago, it was interspersed with photographs. She has since retired, and that website's no longer available, so I only had the hard copies. So rather than use those pictures, I interspersed some of my own pictures with the text I'm going to be reading. So at this point, I want to be able to share my slides as I read, so we will get the back up there for you. The moon of Cheshvan. You can feel the earth's changes, the tide of night rising around you. And so you call upon the name of God, Hamakom, your place, your haven in this time of transformation. Hamakom, in this moon of Cheshvan, you teach me to learn from the trees. They rise in radiant splendor, their rich reds, deep clarets, and brilliant golds, gleaming on the hillsides, showing me the way to walk in this world with quiet dignity, colors aflame, souls shining in beauty, gently releasing that which is no longer needed, so as to stand more lightly in this world. Cheshvan arrives, the season of sowing in the land. Barley and wheat are tucked into earth's bed to sleep and rise in the spring. You teach me now is the time to plant seeds, which in order to sprout require exposure to cool air and deep rest. So too do I need travel through my chilled spells, my times of darkness, that I might rise in my season, gifting nourishment to this world. In Cheshvan, in the land of Israel, storks and cranes en route to the south take respite in the fields, blanketing them in white. So you show me that cycles ever keep turning, to watch for the gifts which periodically descend, the storks, harbingers of promises yet to come. In Cheshvan, farmers gently lay the newly plucked olives into their garlicly brine, that they might in quiet turn to luscious morsels. After reviewing my harvest, cleansing my spirit, living in the elements and dancing in joy, I too now eagerly enter into the tantalizing invitation of the velvety quiet to absorb, reflect, shift shape, rest my soul. For just as the earth wraps herself in fallen leaves and composting flowers, in pine needles and fugitive nuts, trees cast off clothing, lying down to rest. So too do I need pause and tuck myself inwards, relearning that my native resources lie within my own soil, which in season needs enriching, replenishing, and restoration. Hamakom, you who guides me to my place, you in whom my place lies, succor me during this season of frost, grant me warm shelter as I turn to you, as I return to myself. Hamakom. Our service continues with the Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula lietzer brishit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, Shelo samchalkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Please be seated. We continue reading responsively, and we will change readers with every and. And then all that has divided us will merge.
And then compassion will be wedded to power.
And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind.
And then both men and women will be gentle.
And then both women and men will be strong.
And then no person will be subject to another's will.
And then all will be rich and free and varied.
And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many.
And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance.
And then all will care for the sick, the weak, and the old.
And then all will nourish the young.
And then all will cherish life's creatures.
And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. At this time, as we prepare for the Mourner's Kaddish, sorry, one second. I wanted to try to move down the barrier at the top, and instead I got other things up here. I want to remember and read the names of those who lost their lives in the Tree of Life Synagogue shooting 4 years ago yesterday. So this is the night we would be reading their names. And of course, everything is moving when I don't want it to. Sorry about that. On this day, we remember Joyce Steenberg, Richard Gottfried, Rose Mallinger, Jerry Rabinowitz, Cecil Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon, Sylvan Simon, Melvin Wax, Daniel Stein, and Irving Younger. 1 second. I think it's when I'm trying to move the bar out of the way is when I'm causing myself these challenges. Okay. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. Tonight, we read the name of Brendan Burns, husband of Holly Levine, father of Aiden, Bridget, Phoebe, and Brendan, stepfather of Alana, grandfather of Cameron and Madison. And he died during this past week. We also read the names of the following people whose yahrzeits occur at this time: Harry Lichtenstein, Harry Schachter, Polly Grenis, Shirley Jill Levine, Philip Friedheim, Sidney Dickman, Regina Mailman, Christina Louise Nugent, David Price, Seymour Simon. At this time, I invite everyone to rise. And as we continue with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, I invite those of you who are on Zoom to unmute as well to join us in our prayer as we read together. Yitkada.
Al V'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah
Yom
Yom
Barachute,
Divrachirute
Yom
Yom Lichmachute B'Chayachon Uvyomachon Ayed Ol Bayit Israel Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv Ve'emeru Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabbah Mivarach Ba'alam U'amei Almayim Yitbarach V'yishtabach Yitzha'ar Yitramam V'yitnaseh Yitadar V'yitchlei V'yithalal Shemei D'Kedusha B'richu Ela min kol bechata v'sharata tushachata nechamata da'amiran ba'alma ve'emeru amen. Yehe shlama rabami shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'emeru amen.
Amen. Oseh
Oseh
shalom
shalom b'mamav uhu yaseh shalom aleinu kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'emeru amen.
Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. A few announcements. We have moved in Broome County to be in the high level of COVID transmission, again, according to the CDC numbers and their definitions. So we will not be serving any food here this evening. There will not be an Oneg Shabbat. You can, of course, speak to one another, but we're asking people to wear masks when you are close to people in the building at this time, so that we do not share in transmitting things to one another that we don't want to give each other. We give each other gifts that we want to give and people want to receive, and getting sick is not one of them. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat school starts at 9, Torah study at 9:15, both in the library and on Zoom, and the family Shabbat service at 10:35. On Wednesday, the 2nd, the book club meets at 10:30 in the morning, discussing the book From Where I Stand, and you can join on Zoom. There also is in person, and if you want to be here in person, I believe they want to know ahead to be sure that we have everybody spaced appropriately. On Thursday, the 3rd, we have a program through the Judaic Studies Department and the College of Jewish Studies with additional sponsorship as well. It's in, I'm not going to say the name of the hall right. Say it again. That's how it's pronounced? Wow, okay. It's the recital hall at Binghamton University. If you have happenings, you have it. Anyway, they're going to be showing a silent film called The Ancient Law, and we'll have klezmer musicians playing the soundtrack that was to go with it. So often you had music accompanying silent films. And so this is a path-breaking film from Weimar era director Ewald A. DuPont, and we'll have a klezmer violinist and a silent film pianist accompanying. This is only an in-person program. There is no fee for it. You can get information through the Binghamton, the Judaic Studies events in Binghamton University. And again, it is the non-lecture part of the College of Jewish Studies also for this fall. Next Friday, we'll be back here for services. And next Saturday, we will celebrate the Ezra, Lisa, and Schatz becoming a bar mitzvah. And so Shabbat services will start at 10:30. They'll be longer than the family services on a regular basis. The congregation is invited, and there will be a kiddush afterwards. In case you don't know, but we've been talking about it for quite a while, this is the week we're going to start setting up for Whale of a Sale. It'll be quite a whale of a sale since we missed 2 years. And so we will be starting to set up the social hall with different goods that will be available for people this Sunday through the next week. And then the sale begins on the 6th of November. So if you have items that you don't have here yet and you want to bring in, you can do it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of next week. So if you're going to need help, call first to be sure there's someone here to help you with it. On the 6th, along with Whale of a Sale, we're going to be doing a Jewish book burial at Temple Israel Cemetery. I will need some other people to assist. I understand there are more boxes of books here than I can put in my vehicle safely for the weight of it. So we need a few vehicles to probably go out to the Temple Israel Cemetery that morning to bring the books there for burial. We've been collecting for a while, and with everything, we just haven't been able to have any place set up. And when we do this, the whole community comes together for the burials. And then the Jewish Federation will be sponsoring on the night of the 6th, the film, this documentary Fiddler, A Miracle of Miracles. There will be a dinner and the program, and you need to reserve that ahead. There is a cost for the kosher dairy dinner that will be following the film. It says it's following the film screening. So the screening is first, I think, in discussion, and then I don't know which order it is. That's what it says here, but check the reporter as well. But anyway, there's a dinner and the film and discussion on the 6th. So it will be a full day. You can do all kinds of things in the community that day as well. On November 9th, we will be having a program for the eve of Kristallnacht here. It will also be available online, so you're welcome to join us for that as well. And the Global Day of Jewish Learning is November 12th, and we'll be sending more information out about that this week through our congregations and through the next issue of the Reporter. So Rabbi Silber, Rabbi Brown, and I will be teaching it together. And it will also be a program which you can participate in the room at Temple Israel or on Zoom. So I think those are enough announcements for now. We are going to conclude with the same Hine Matov we began with. It's a good way to, hopefully, you'll let me know if you like it or not over the course of time, but you'll really get the hang of it to make that decision. Hine Matov umanayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet kulam gam yachad. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum, Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum, Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum, Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet kulam gam yachad. Baruch atah b'voecha u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha. Blessed are you when you came here, and blessed may you be upon leaving this holy place. We wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom, and look forward to being together with one another at other times during the week, and of course next Shabbat as well.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. So we said goodbye
Shabbat
to those
shalom.
people who were on
Shabbat
Facebook.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Well, and